Welcome, gamers, to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming. We're on episode 231. Today is May 17th. My name is Craig Prowse, and joining me, as always, Mandrew Montemayor.
Yo, 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 yo.
So guys, yeah, we're a little bit behind, but we've been doing some stuff. I know Andrew's been doing some traveling. We've been working on some of the stuff, make sure the Zoom's still good and ready to go. So we are still working on it. I hope everyone's liking it. Andrew, how are you like doing the Zoom stuff? I know we both on both ends have been kind of messing with settings here and there, different equipment and stuff, but so far, I mean, you're not opposed. I mean, you like the way it's going, yeah?
No, it's nice and convenient, especially right now. Like I'm like traveling a lot for like work and stuff, so it's super convenient for me. I love doing it in person and like hanging out, but right now I just have so much going on. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, no, this is just easier, better, and I think it's just good.
Yeah, and I think too because a lot of the times too is if it is something like we can't record it on a normal day, it is nice to be like, hey man, can we do it on Sunday and we'll just do a quick, we'll do a pickup. So I feel like it's easier to kind of get the ball rolling a little easier than trying to plan a schedule of you coming into town and figuring out time to make it work. So far I'm liking it. I hope everybody who's watching it so far is liking it as well. So
We need to do an after dark episode.
with no shirts on.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Do that right now before you keep moving on with the episode. If you guys are interested in following us on our social media, our Linktree link is in the description. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. And if you guys are listening to the audio-only version of the podcast, you can follow us and listen to us on your podcast platform of choice. So before we dive into our main topic, we like to do off the top. We're going to take a second. We talk about some things that may have happened, maybe something that skated under your radar and bring to your attention. And I slipped this one in today. I didn't get a chance to go over it with Andrew, so I'm curious of what his thoughts are. Because when I was setting up everything for today, it popped up on my Instagram. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I sent it to my messenger and I have it saved up. So I'm curious what your thoughts on this. So a while back, we know that there was going to be a new Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, which releases worldwide on July 9th, 2026. That was kind of old news. We were going to go over it, but nothing too big to kind of talk about other than that it's a good looking reboot. But I saw today, and from everything I'm seeing, it looks real to me, is that Ubisoft is hiding a $500,000 real life treasure in the Caribbean. So I'm going to read this out and you tell me if you think it's real or fake. For everything I saw, I thought it was real, but I mean, who knows? It says, to celebrate the new Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag Remake, Ubisoft is burying $500,000 worth of treasure somewhere in the Caribbean, and the hunt could take up to 5 years to solve. Players will have to crack the cryptic messages, study treasure maps, solve 15 hidden puzzles, and uncover one real-world location where the chest is buried. The winner gets flown out to the Caribbean to dig it up themselves. The entry costs $35 and it starts November 9th. And the Ubisoft says you don't even need to know Black Flag lore to participate, but good luck beating hardcore Assassin's Creed fans. This might be the closest thing we'll ever get to buried treasure. Now, it went on to say this, so I'm assuming that it's real. It says Ubisoft and Unsolved Hunts are clearly confident in the difficulty of the riddles and puzzles included in the hunt, as the companies anticipate the hunt lasting between 2 to 5 years. They encourage you to tackle it as part of a team, but specify only one individual can be awarded the prize. So make sure you trust whomever you set sail with. So let's assume that it is real. Is that really cool marketing? Is that something, or is this something sounds like it's back in like the 90s where everything had like this weird competition that you could do and you never heard about anybody ever winning it ever?
Now, it sounds like it's real, and I'll tell you why. Because it sounds like a Ubisoft thing to do, that some random person's going to win it, but a studio is going to randomly close, or some big game that everyone's hyped for is going to be canceled, and everyone's going to be like, well, there went the money. It all went to some buried treasure
Show
that some
me the
asshole had
money.
to dig up. So it sounds like something crazy they would do for just no reason whatsoever. But I think it's cool
Is it something
if
you'd be
it's
a part
real.
of, would it something you'd participate in if you were part of a
There's
crew of
no
scallywags that wanted to go hunting for real treasure?
No, I might as well go outside and like drop $35 in the street because there's no way I'm gonna win.
Well, because I wasn't sure how to take it. I'm taking it as the puzzles are in the game, right? And then once you crack it in the game, there's something to do in real life that you have to go do.
Maybe that's kind of what it sounds like, and that usually sounds like someone who would be able to do something like that, or like the people who get like the logs from betas of games, like all the behind the scenes stuff and everything like that. There's no way I could compete.
Like any real pirate would say, this smells a little fishy, if you ask me. But anyway, I thought that was kind of cool to pop up because I just heard about it today, and I thought it'd be kind of interesting. And we can kind of throw some light on the fact that there is still Assassin's Creed 4 Resync coming out. I guess we never really talked about it. I've already beat it. It's my favorite Assassin's Creed. But again, with so much on the backlog and so many new things, I have a hard time really going back and playing games that I've beaten before, even though this looks fantastically a superior version. I don't know if I'm gonna day one it, let's say, and go back and play it. Andrew, are you interested in going back and playing, or at least playing the new version of Resynced Black Flag?
I do want to play it. I don't know that I'll day one it because I've beaten it too. But yeah, it is kind of hard these days. Like even what did I do? That Yakuza Kiwami 3. I only did that because I don't think there was like anything else at that time that I'm like, okay, there's nothing like super. There's some stuff in my backlog that I should be playing, but nothing I'm like, okay, like I'm absolutely missing out on this right now. Game of the Year contender. Or if it is something that high up, it's already however old that like, do I really want to go back and play something old or just kind of something current, something quick? So I will, and I guess maybe I'll just have to kind of see what is around it because we both just have so much going on that it would have to depend on what else launches around it. Not even just what else launches around it, even if it was like a week or two before. So I'm like, okay, if I don't have time to beat this game, it's gonna just drag on for however long, and that one's more the priority.
Yeah, well, what's cool is I don't think Sam's beaten. She hasn't beaten a lot of. She's been getting into the Assassin's Creed games, and she never played 4. So I told her because she was playing it on the Switch. I told her to stop and then wait for the resync to come out. So
Oh, for sure.
even if I don't play it, maybe I can at least watch it and see how it goes. So, guys, leave down your thoughts below of what you think about the buried treasure that Ubisoft is offering a
Let us know
team
if
of
you're gonna
people.
enter.
Yeah. So our next off the top, guys, is that there was a surprise Nintendo Direct that dropped on May 6th. It's about 16 minutes long, and it's featuring a new Star Fox game. So let me read this. It says Nintendo officially revealed a brand new Star Fox game launching on Nintendo Switch 2 on June 25th, 2026. This highly anticipated release is a full-scale cinematic remake and reimagining of Star Fox 64, complete with modernized 2026 gen photorealistic visuals and new voice acting. So there's a bit to get into, and we'll dive into it. But I wanted to ask Andrew, were you ever a fan of any of the Star Fox games? Because I know I've played Super Nintendo. I own the one on 64. I made sure I double checked it, but I don't know if it's ever been as big as a mascot character to me as say like Samus or Kirby or Mario. And I just want to go over some of the games just so people know, like how many games are actually out there for Star Fox. And you tell me if you've played him all or if he's even a character that kind of sits with you. And I'll do this in North American dates. There was the Star Fox on Super Nintendo that was in 1993, Star Fox 64, which was in 1997, Star Fox Adventures, which was in 2002, and that was on the GameCube. There was Star Fox Assault, which looks like it was on the GameCube as well, and that came out in 2005. There was Star Fox Command in 2006, which was on that looks like it was on the DS. Did I skip one? No, that was on the DS. Star Fox 64 3D, which was on the Nintendo 3DS in 2011. Star Fox Zero, that was on the Wii U in 2016. There was a canceled Super Nintendo version called Star Fox 2, which eventually came back out in 2017. And then we have the new one. So with all those games out, I don't know if you even knew if there were that many. But is Star
No,
Fox something? Have you played any of them? And is he a character that you even really care about? Because obviously he's coming hot off of Mario Galaxy. So obviously they jumped on this to kind of promote that character still. And is he somebody you're familiar with or care about?
I'm not like too crazy for Star Fox. The only one I've ever played is like 64, which I like. It's a cool game, but I'm not like insane about Star Fox. I've always felt like he's one of those characters like he's either in your heart from that game or from Super Smash Brothers. The same way, like you could ask a
Smash,
ton of
yeah.
people who are like ice climbers. Ice climbers, I would say, are really only popular because of Super Smash Brothers. I would say there are people who love Earthbound, but I'd say he's more popular because of Smash.
West and all them.
There's certain people like that are within that game that are really only like popular that have if you mention it to someone, they would know who it is because of Smash Brothers. You know?
Right. So with that being said, we'll dive into kind of what the game's going to offer. Um, the graphically, does it look like something that are they doing a good job in terms of doing a full scale cinematic remake? Because it was getting a lot of kind of hate that the Fox McCloud character kind of looked a little odd,
That
especially especially showing how good he looked in Mario Galaxy. Then they kind of had this new version, and the rest, because overall I could care less. It looked fine to me. It looked more, I guess, Fox like than he did being like animated. But that aside, I thought the rest of the game looked quite well. So, do you think it deserves any of the hate it's getting on Fox McCloud, or do you think that's something they have time to polish? I doubt it. It comes out next month, right? So this is going to be the game.
Yeah, it's just funny that they would make like a decision like that, but maybe they didn't know how popular the other version was going to be. But even so, we have classic ones to work on. I don't think he look. The game looks great. I don't think he looks amazing. It's funny because I just see people calling him like Star Fat or like the like Fox McDonald or like there's all these names and stuff like that, and they're
I've
pretty
heard
funny.
it.
But it's just like I've seen a lot of people say like, can we reverse bully Nintendo to do like the opposite of like what we had to do for Sonic to get like this other one? Because that other one in Mario Galaxy is such a good design that like I don't understand why you wouldn't just use that off the back of that movie. You know?
Yeah, sorry. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb so I don't get no stupid texts coming in. I would say too though, because at the end of the direct, they show that it can be like a game avatar that you can use as like your face. So I wonder if almost the model that they used was the best one that you could use because they were showing that you could take those faces and you could use it as your game chat avatar for Nintendo Switch too, and it will copy your eyebrows, it'll copy your mouth, it'll copy your like
Yeah.
the way you turn. So I wonder if that model for Fox McCloud was just the easiest way to do it versus making a more animated looking one because the rest of the characters like Slippy Toad and Falco and what's the hare's name, the rabbit's name, like they all look pretty
Oh,
good.
I forget.
Yeah, so I don't know. I thought maybe that might be a thing just for the Avatar related thing, but overall, I don't think it's really going to sway. I mean, if you're going to buy the game, you're going to buy the game, right? I don't think that's really going to kill it. Overall, the graphics look pretty good
Yeah,
to
I don't
me.
think it's gonna kill it for anybody because it's not like it would be different. I think
Oh,
if it
Peppy
was like
Hare, that's his name. That's the
it'd be
rabbit's name.
different if it was like that like Star Fox Adventure one where you know you're actually playing him and just running around those cutscenes. There's him and like the chick or whatever too. If it was something like that, maybe that would more be like an issue. But sitting in the cockpit, like that, it's not gonna be a big deal.
Nice. So let's go into what they kind of offered. They had a couple different bullet points. We'll go over them. The first one is that they're adding online and local multiplayer. This is an overhauled battle mode which features a 4v4 matches as Team Star Fox and versus Star Wolf, and it has team-based objectives. Now, I think this is a really cool feature. I think in longevity terms, this is going to be what keeps the game alive, assuming that it's actually going to be fun. Because if it's not fun at all to play, no one's going to jump online to play it. But I do want to point out that the game showed that it's going to have at least 6 different sections within the game, which is and I don't say any of these names wrong. Forgive me. I'm not a big Star Fox guy. I think it was Cornecia, which is more like Earth related. Ficina, which was like an ice and tundra world. Solar, which was a lava and sun kind of looking planet. Zone S, which was a polluted world that had all its resources drained. Meteo, which was a whole asteroid field. And Sector Y, which was kind of a space world, like traveling around like through space bases. So the 3 stages that they had, or they're only doing 3 stages with the online, pulling from out of those 6, which all have their own different rules. Corneria has a match type with Uciza Zone, which is around satellites, which is kind of a control. Ficina has collect energy crystals, avoiding meteorites and outlasting the other team. And then Sector Y has retrieve cargo from space pirates and then return to the base. So if these things are fun, I can see that, first of all, they've only used 3. So I can see if the game has legs and continues to move on, you can
Right.
DLC could pull in those other worlds, and you could add new missions. You know, certain worlds could get 2 to 3 different types of gameplay. So, did any of that look appealing to you? Because obviously we'll get into the campaign and stuff like that, which is a rehash of the 64 one. But as an online player yourself, did any of that look kind of fun to you at all?
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool just to jump in on something like that because it's not something that looked like particular like Warzone and Battlefield, you know, where you have to put in the time. Like you could jump in, just have fun. It's like simple, but there are like there's just dynamics to actually like be good at it or something. So like it seems like you probably build off of something like that. And I know normally, usually you kind of like want to. I don't want to say crap on games that like come out and they're like, oh, well, you only have 3 maps. It's like, okay, well, you don't really know how it's gonna do. So I don't know if this seems like it's okay. Well, we don't have faith in this mode, or no, we have faith in this. We just need people to get in there, like get it going first, and then we have this pipeline of content that'll come out too. So I think that'll be the more interesting thing to see.
Do you think dogfighting though is still something anybody is going to want to be doing, especially on a Switch online? Do you think that's like does the gameplay look like it's going to be? I mean, obviously you could say Call of Duty, people playing deathmatch over and over and over and over again, but do you think doing a dogfighting type gameplay is that something that's going to keep people invested over the next year or two?
I think it could have if it's so well and it feels good to play, then yeah, because I don't. That's some of the bigger parts of Battlefield. Like if you go into like the Battlefield servers, there you'll usually find like airplane like only sections where it's just like big air, like air versions of Conquest and stuff like that, where you're just fighting each other. Ace Combat usually sells pretty well. Like when it comes out, there's like diehard fans of that. I personally don't play because it's a little much for me. But even that random game, what Star Wars Squadrons that
Oh
like
yeah,
came out
yeah.
not too long ago or whatever. It's not exactly the same or whatever, but still kind of a general idea. And that kind of did like even though we didn't play it, I did see a lot of people talking about it and how much they liked it. For a while, I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm glad something came out it's just different. There is a space. There is space for this. It's not like it's like just another shooter or what's the big like a big extraction mode something or whatever. Right now, nobody's really doing something like this, so there is room for it to breathe.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm kicking myself. I should have worn my N64 shirt instead of my PlayStation shirt today. Now that I'm thinking of this, but yeah, I think so too. I think it's actually really clever, and I think as long as it does do well, DLC can move forward. You can start adapting all those new planets and things like that. The second thing they had going on for it was they have co-op gameplay, which is a two-player local co-op mode where one player pilots the ship and the other handles targeting and shooting. And I think this is something Nintendo is doing a great job of turning what's essentially a one-player game into a two-player co-op game, because you look at something like Donkey Kong Bonanza where that easily is just a one-player game, but they turned it into somebody plays Donkey Kong, the other person uses the Joy-Con to kind of pick up all the star bits or the whatever it was, the coins. And this is actually a really more fun kind of combo where and you can switch back and forth, but one person's going to be driving, flying around. The other person's actually going to be doing the shooting. Because I look at something like if me and Gino were little, playing, as a kids, like playing back and forth of who's going to do that. Or like Ramundo's got kids. I know you got your brothers and stuff like that. So I think Nintendo's, and some people were kind of getting fussy about like how come they're not making like an F-Zero game instead of a Star Fox game. A lot of people are hashing that out, but I think they're using the right IP to test out some of these things like co-op gameplay in a way that I don't think a lot of other games could really do. So looking at a way that they're using this, one person drives, one person shoots. I mean, I thought that was really clever. That's something that, I mean, there's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, there's nothing to argue about it, right?
Yeah, even though it's not as like intricate. I mean that's one of my favorite things from Mario Kart. I don't know if you played Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube. Did you ever play that?
Yeah, yeah.
So you that almost like the same idea of the premise. One person is driving and the other person's in the back, timing when to hold the weapons and trying to like just throw it forward, throw it backward, whatever. So obviously not as like intricate, but kind of like the same idea. And I love Mario Kart Double Dash for that like multiplayer aspect too. Like I had so much fun playing with my brothers and sisters as a kid. Like, all right, and then you switch positions and like now I'm driving and they're the ones like using the weapons or whatever. And I personally like that. I think that's like a super cool idea than just adding like, okay, here's one plane and here's your plane and we're just flying together.
Yeah, my cousin Augie had Double Dash. So because I didn't really have a GameCube growing up, so I believe it was at his house. So I remember playing it over there. But yeah, I think it's really clever. And I think they're using their IP properly. And here goes into another thing with them using it kind of more for everybody is they have their game share option, which supports four-player local play and online matches. So as long as I'm understanding it correctly, as long as one person has the game and they can open up game share. And if you're local next to, so like if Sam's next to me or Ramundo comes over with his Switch too, I can host the game and then we can all three play it as well as going online. So if you are looking for people to play that 4v4 online matches, that this is something that the game offers for itself. So it's almost like I don't say they're giving it to you, but you know what I mean? Like it's a really low entry point to get into the ecosystem to try to get people to play this online feature. So what are you laughing at?
It's It is a good idea, and I understand what you mean by low entry. It's like, yeah, low entry. As long as you have four $700 consoles, sure, it's very very low entry.
Well, yeah, but again, though, so instead of just, I mean, as long as you've got the Switch,
No,
which is still the cheapest system out there,
yeah, no,
it only takes one person to own the game, or you can still jump online and find somebody. If I don't have the game and someone does an online one, I get to play with them too.
yeah, no, I understand what you mean. It's just kind of funny to think about, but no, I like, yeah, that's cool to give people more options. And if anything, too, I wonder if that'll help sales wise. Like, oh, okay, like, maybe someone's visiting. Hey, check this out. I have it. We can play it together. Oh, I really love that. When I get back home, I'm gonna buy it now to maybe play it with people that I hang out with more often. And, whatever.
Yeah, I like that. I was thinking about that too. Yeah, it's a good way to test the waters and things like that. So I think those two features are moving in the right direction. And then finally, the newer content that it adds is for the campaign, which adds new cutscenes and new voice acting. It also added an easy. It has different variations: easy, normal, and expert mode. Where in easy mode, so if you are brand new to the franchise, they've expressed that you can have longer shields and you'll have charged up lasers. And the game itself, really, as far as I can tell, isn't that long of a game. It's like an hour and a half, two
Yeah, I don't
hour
remember it
game.
being that long. Yeah,
Yeah, it's supposed to be like kind of like an on rail kind of game. I don't want to say like a Pokemon Snap, but you're kind of following the mission, and the whole kind of concept is to find these new paths, right? That you can kind of
yeah,
explore, because they were showing that there's going to be new, different variations of how you cruise through the galaxy based on how many objectives you completed and how many enemies you killed. If the objective was completed or not, your game's still going to move forward. It just might not move forward in the correct way. So it really kind of it wants you to do a lot of replayability of going back and kind of finding these new paths. So on top of that, with the campaign having these various paths, they also added the challenge mode, which lets you replay stages you've already beaten with specific objectives that aren't part of the campaign that you can do on normal and expert and things like that. So it seems like they did a really good job. I mean, revamping the campaign and giving you more to do than just a standard new paint, new coat of paint.
yeah. I think the original had something like that originally, from what I remember. So there's like a couple alternate paths, but yeah, just add more and flesh it out. I mean, it's definitely. What else can you really do for like an on rails thing besides create? Oh, here's 40 levels. I would rather do this path where, like, okay, you could do different things than, well, no, here's just 40 levels and you just go through them.
Yeah. So I gotta say, overall, I think it looks pretty good. It comes out next month, I think I said. So I'm definitely looking at doing it. I think it does a good job of getting new and old players together. I think what it's offering for the multiplayer online looks pretty sharp. So I don't know if this is something that's worth buying a Switch 2 for, but for anyone that has a Switch 2, I think it's an easy buy, an easy pickup for the machine to keep your games flowing.
Well, yeah, you got to play something. But I was
there's still tons to play on the Switch. The Switch 2 is better now than it's ever been.
speaking of playing something, I'll just throw in like a little nugget. I think especially like if you're like kind of looking online, depending on where you're looking, a lot more people are excited for this game. Not for the game though, and that's because there was a leak beforehand. Um, I believe it's from Nate the Hate, big dude who like always leaks stuff online. Usually has a pretty good track record, saying like, "Hey, there's going to be a Star Fox event after the movie. There's a game. It's going to come out soon. It'll be like during the summer, whatever." I think he was a week off from when they were actually doing the announcement, but still, either way, nobody else had been talking about Star Fox or anything else like that online. So that was already like, okay, like that's makes that very credible now. The other big part of this leak was that dropped with it is that Nintendo is working on an Ocarina of Time
Yeah,
remake.
yeah, yeah. I think we
And
heard about that
so
rumor.
that's why when this thing dropped, I seen more people excited for that, saying like, well, if he said this other thing and this other thing was right almost verbatim, like, within a week, I would say that's very good. You're not just guessing. You have to know something that it's like, damn, like how exciting. Because I remember like, and that was the first thing I had seen too. As soon as this thing came out, I was thinking like, oh, cool, new Starbucks. I'm like, dude, we're getting an Ocarina of Time remake. I don't really know what they're gonna do with it, but I'm so excited. I would have to buy a Switch 2 for that if it was exclusive.
There you go. Finally get that killer app. Yeah, are we in the era then? You think they're just going to start pumping out some golden 64 games?
I think some of them you can. I don't see why not. There's a lot that you can really do with that game. I don't want them to like Breath of the Wild it or anything by any
Yeah,
means,
that would
but
be a miss. That
but
would be a misstep.
But there is a lot that you can do to it to make it, I mean, feel like more fleshed out, like a little bit better. And it's been enough time. I don't want them. I don't want that to be the natural thing. Just okay, well, let's just go back to the well and do the same old whatever. But Nintendo's usually pretty good about some of that stuff.
Nice. Yeah. So overall, I think it looks pretty good. If you guys have anything you want to say about the new Star Fox game, leave your thoughts down below. Is there anything else you want to add on that?
Nah,
Alrighty, guys. So with that out of the way, let's move into our main story, and that is that Mortal Kombat 2 is out. It is a sequel to the Mortal Kombat movie from 2021. It seems to be doing pretty good. 65% critics review and 88% audience review on Rotten Tomatoes.
another reversal.
It's got a 7.7 out of 10 out of IMDb, 3.5 out of 5 on Cinelinx. If you aren't familiar with it, this says that Johnny Cage joins other fighters in the ultimate no-holds-barred battle to defeat the dark rule of Shao Kahn, a powerful tyrant who threatens the very existence of the Earth realm and its defenders. It came out on May 8th, 2026. It runs almost 2 hours long. I want to get into
Man, I guess it was that long, huh?
yeah, it's an hour and 56 running time.
I didn't feel like that at all. I felt like I wasn't even in there that long. I guess
Oh really?
that's
That
how
kind of
that's
flew
how much
by?
I liked it. Yeah, I wasn't sitting there like, damn, that was a long ass one. You know, sometimes you see a movie and you're like I remember seeing like Blood Diamond in theaters. Like as good a movie it is, I'm like, dude, that was a long movie.
Yeah, well, it's definitely doing better than number one. Number one, because a lot of people didn't think number two was ever going to come, because number one kind of didn't follow any particular Mortal Kombat story. It invented a new kind of avatar for character for fans to kind of watch through. Number one's opening weekend wasn't that great. It's 23.3 million. Mortal Kombat 2's opened up at 38.5. Its opening weekend worldwide for number one was 30 million. Number two was 63 million. Its lifetime for number one was 84.4 million, and right now with its money still turning, it's at 101.2 million. The budget on the first one was 55. The budget on the second one was 80 million. So it does sound like it's doing better, but unfortunately, for this movie to actually make money, it's going to need to be around 180 to probably 200 million for it to actually make its money back. But I mean, we can still say it's doing better than that. So before we dive into the movie itself, did you think number two would be, I mean, it's not doing loads better, but did it look like it was always going to be the better movie? Because we got fooled by number one with some really cool trailers. And
Yeah.
we got a subpar movie. So were you kind of holding your breath and waiting to see how this one was going to be? Or is it no surprise that this one was easily going to at least be a better movie?
I thought it would have been hard to make it worse, but I'm sure they could have found a way. And now, after starting to see, like, so I think for me, what really did it, like, once I'd seen like a couple of like one of the stages where like there's like usually like priests in the background and they're like fighting in the void and stuff like that. Like once I'd seen a stage like that, I'm like, okay, that's a very like iconic stage that has no reason to like be here unless you really like want to make it known, like, hey, we're doing this for like you guys. So I'm like, okay, sick. Like I think that you're getting it now, and I hope that you're getting it. I'm still being reserved, but I went in more hopeful than being like negative for it.
Nice, right on. Yeah, I think I always had high hopes for it. So, Andrew and I gonna do a review on it, but I don't think we were gonna do a spoiler review, but I don't think I'm gonna consider this a no spoiler to maybe a light spoiler review. I don't want to go beat by beat. I just saw it the other day with Sam and Denny. I know you kind of just recently saw it, so I don't think it's out long enough to where if anybody's watching the show hasn't seen it yet. I don't want to spoil anything with it. You're all right with that though, yeah?
Yeah, I would say I'll probably just cover like anything you've seen in the trailers. I don't know that I would consider that a spoiler, but
Okay, yeah, I have some bullet points here. We'll kind of go over if there's anything else you want to add at the end. But first, because I always just want to point out is like, how was your movie going experience? I went with Denny. I went with Sam. Sam and I got some new Mortal Kombat green and black. They're like these metal popcorn buckets. Our
oh, they
theater.
didn't have anything like that there.
Oh, they didn't have anything at all. Oh man.
No, I was looking.
We actually, because Top Gun is actually playing in the RV right now.
I saw that.
They re-released one and two, but the Riverside was selling Goose and Maverick popcorn bucket helmets. I almost wanted to get them, but I didn't because we like getting some popcorn buckets now. So I went up with Denny met us there. Me and Sam went. There was probably maybe 8 people in there, but I gotta say overall, everyone was laughing at the same stuff. Everybody was kind of Oh man, that's like that's the kill. So, how was your movie going experience? Did you any annoyances, or I mean, did it seem like a decent crowd?
Yeah, no, it was a pretty decent amount of people in there, but like nobody just like chirping the whole time. People cheering for the same thing, laughing at the same thing. Like seemed like everybody enjoyed it. I think the only thing, and this was before the movie started, like just before it started, some guy fell down the stairs.
Oh
Not an old
no!
guy either, so like I didn't.
Did
Well,
you
I don't
say?
want to say
Did you
like
yell out, "Finish him"?
it was some dude, and I think he was walking with like his kid, and I don't know what he had in his hands or something like that, but like he tripped and like fell like down the stairs to like where people like got up to help him, and I was just like, oh damn, that's kind of like crazy, but
So you're saying
that's
you had a
the only thing of
fatality?
note.
You
Yeah,
had a fell, you had a fatality?
honestly, I slipped like 3 times in the theaters because I like walk like so like if that's the step, I'll put my foot like right on the edge and just like slip.
That's funny. Well, I'm glad you guys are safe. So yeah, it didn't seem like everyone was rushing out, but again, I think we're a week or so out, 4 minutes. But so first of all, I just want to start with the story. Um, so this just says how it starts off. In a flashback, Emperor Shao Kahn kills King Jared in a Mortal Kombat, taking over Edenia in the name of Outworld, as well as Queen Sindel and Princess Katana and his consort and daughter, respectively. This is the opening part of the movie. Years later, with the 10th Mortal Kombat tournament on the horizon, Quan Chi and Shao Kahn's orders revives Kung Lao and Kano, unable to corrupt and control the latter due to his already corrupt nature. Back in Earthrealm, Lord Raiden and Sonya Blade retrieve washed-up actor Johnny Cage to fight as their fifth champion alongside Sonya, Liu Kang, Jax Briggs, and Cole Young, but Johnny refuses to participate. So that's loosely the story in a nutshell. Do you feel you need to watch number one at all to be caught up with it? Because obviously there's some deaths in number one, like saying Kano's in there. Because I know there's some trailers we see Kano, he shoots his laser eye. A lot of people are saying, well, how did that happen? I kind of forget number one, and I don't feel I needed to watch number one. I feel it does a pretty good job of kind of catching you up. And to be honest
Yeah,
with you, I feel like it's almost to me like a wash. And this is essentially number one. So do you think there's anything from number one anybody needs to watch beforehand to be caught up with?
no. If you're gonna watch one, I would at least watch like anything involving like Sub Zero and Scorpion because those are like by far the actual best parts of the movie, leading into like this. But other than that, no, you could like literally jump right in because what they did with this one is like okay, that was a big problem with a lot of one. It's like a lot of the stories kind of just like done for no reason, added things for no reason that they're like, all right, that didn't work. We're just gonna wash our hands with it and just move forward. So if anything, I think if you watch one and then watch this, you would have more problems because you'd be like, okay, well, what happened with like this thing, you know?
Right. With that being said, for the story, does it follow anything? I mean, you know Mortal Kombat better than anybody I know. Does it follow any particular? Is this from a certain game at all? Because obviously they're always fighting for Mortal Kombat, but is this from Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3 at all, or anything like that?
It's kind of like a bit all over the place, like because it depending on how you look at it, there's like some Revenant stuff which isn't until like Mortal Kombat X, but the or maybe that's 11 X or 11. I think it's X though. But Mortal Kombat 9 also kind of does some stuff with like good fighters being like Revenants too. The rebooted one. It's got a scene in there that's from also Mortal Kombat like 11 too, like involving like Katana as far as like how some stuff happens like in the tournament. So there is like a mixture of things, and it seems like a lot of the stuff though that they pull from isn't like I don't want to say Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3, but when I say that, I don't mean original 1, 2, and 3. I mean like 1, 2, and 3 as far as like the rebooted timeline from like nine moving onward.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and then the other two I kind of want to look at. Did anything in this version of the movie seem forced at all? Because I do kind of feel. Denny and I were having a conversation. And I won't get into how and what, but there's a medallion that comes into play that kind of seems to be the focus of the latter half of the movie, and it kind of seems forced. Like you didn't really need it because Shao Kahn's trying to get this medallion going, and it's like he's already winning, so it didn't really seem necessary. And the whole kind of thing I think that it promotes is that eventually it gets in the hands of the new Sub Zero, who gets revived, and you see this in the trailers. I feel like it was kind of pushed just so we could get another scene with Sub Zero and Scorpion, because I really feel like that part of the movie was kind of not unnecessary. It was cool to watch, but you didn't really need it. I feel like that whole part was made just to show them off again, and I felt like I felt it was a little forced. You didn't really need that. You could say if I'm wrong, if you enjoyed it, but was there anything in the movie that you thought was too fast, forced, not enough of?
I don't know that I would call that one forced because in some of the other games, like that is like a big central thing is that's like
Okay,
Shinnok's amulet is
gotcha.
what that
Okay,
is. But yeah, because you could my more problem with that is again this does the same thing that like other video game adaptations try to do, and like because you could have just had obviously yeah Sub Zero comes back as
smoke.
Noob Saibot.
News like
So,
that.
and that's the same as it is in the games and stuff. So you could have just had him there. Like he didn't have to be guarding the amulet or something like that. He could have just been an entry into the tournament or something, like he is in some of the other ones. I think more for me, it was too much of like instead of let's focus on two, or you could even maybe kind of have blended one and two. It's like let's take stuff from two, three. Let's take this from X. Let's take this from like 11, and now we have like an amalgamation of like five different games. That while it still felt fine, I don't really know where you go forward, nor do I have anything to really be excited for until I see a trailer or hear something about what the next game is. Versus, I mean, even the original Mortal Kombat from, what is it, like 99, 98, whatever that one came out, ended on that high note with like Shao Kahn's head, like, we're mortal fools, I'm here for a show, whatever, setting up whatever the next thing is going to be because the next thing is always coming. That's like, even that needed to do that right. So I think it just did by force. That's more what I mean. It's like, oh, let's just take this, and let's all
Right.
put it together. And while some of it works, though, and I think it works mostly well, again, because I'm like, okay, well, if you're taking this from there, now you can't do this later on, you can't do this later on, you can't do this later on. So, like, now if you've taken the best parts of stuff from other series that haven't happened yet, that's only going to leave the mid to worst parts. So now moving forward, you're going to have to write your own material like you tried to do the first one, which wasn't good, or you're going to work with the mid to worst parts. So that's
Right.
kind of what left me kind of feeling down about the movie in a way.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think too, the other thing a lot of people got to just keep in mind is that this movie's just dumb fun. It's
Yeah,
dumb
for sure.
popcorn fun. Like there's really because me and Danny were kind of whispering, they're like, "Oh, I thought he died. Oh, I guess this ability doesn't work. Or why?" But it's like you just gotta let that go. I mean, the story is it's a fun video game movie, and the story I think is the less thing you really need to care about. It's kind of more about what we're getting to right now is the new characters and kind of the combat and the
Oh,
action.
I was
So,
say before you get there,
oh
I
yeah,
do want to note it's almost like the second another big video game movie where the regular people like us, the regular users, are having way more fun than the critics are going in there and like,
yes,
oh, this
exactly.
movie's a 60, this movie's a 50, and it's like, okay, it's not the small disparity of like, okay, they're saying it's a 70, us regular people are putting it at 80. That's kind of close.
Yeah,
It's a bigger thing, just like with Mario. So
yeah.
it's just really, I don't want to say weird, but for sure get out there if you're interested, go see it. Like, don't listen to those reviews. Like, I had a good time from the back.
Well, okay, then I'll kind of jump. I'll jump into
Oh,
this.
sorry if I jumped ahead,
Well,
my
no,
bad.
I'll jump into this though for the combat and fatality. It's pretty brutal with how people die. So, with that saying, to go out there
Yes,
and go see it, is it something you? I mean, would you say take your kids to that, or do you think it's a little too rated R,
I think it just depends on how old your kid
or not
is.
rated
I
R? Do you think
would
it's a little too gory and like? Would you like is someone that's like Grayson's age? Let's say eight,
I
nine,
wouldn't take
10.
I wouldn't take Grayson, I don't think. But it's hard to say though too, because at like Grayson's age, it was normal for kids like us to watch like normal like American Pie and like Scream and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Personally,
American Pie.
yeah. So like personally, I wouldn't take my 10-year-old son to
You
do
think it'd be
that.
like
If my
junior high
kid
and
was
up
10.
maybe?
Yeah, but I would say probably like 12, 13.
So how did you like the way the combat was filmed, the choreography, and then how did you like the way they implemented fatalities? Because there's some good stuff of how people die in this, and I thought a lot of the combat, especially when Shao Kahn fights, like when they're using his ability with like his green
The shoulder
charge.
charge?
Yeah, I thought a lot of the combat looked good, albeit some of it did have some cheese. Like when Raiden does some of the electricity stuff, I thought it looked kind of bad. But other than that, I think all because the movie does. I mean, if we're combining the story with like the combat, the movie moves from fight to fight to fight to fight, and people die pretty quick in that. So as far as sticking to a Mortal Kombat of going, hey, quick fight, quick combat, quick fatality, I thought it did a pretty good job.
Yeah, actually, I had three. That was like what all me and Christian were gushing about afterwards. I'm like, okay, like I had three that kind of really like did it for me. Just like aspects of like the fighting and the choreography was one. Like Shao Kahn's huge. Like when you see him, he's a brick shit house.
And
The
they
way
did a
that he
good
should
job on him,
be.
man. Yeah.
But he is extreme. He's really fast, and I don't just mean with the shoulder charge, but when it comes to close quarters combat or closing that gap from person to person or whatever, he's deceptively quick. I'm like, oh wow, okay, that makes him so much better because he's not just walking at you all slow. Which I, when I first saw him, I was like, okay, like he's just gonna be the slow dude, and people are gonna try to dance circles around him. It's like, no, he's bringing the fight to you extremely fast. So I was like, okay, cool, like that's just good small choreography. A small
Yeah.
change like that could have made or break something. Or same with like Johnny Cage because he's not as like super powered like everybody else. Like his whole fighting style doesn't rely on like teleporting or whatever. His is just a lot more grounded, and so just that hand to hand was really cool. But I think the best one, and it's not a spoiler because they show it in the trailers, is for me personally is Kung Lao and Liu Kang's fight. That fight,
That was sick.
badass.
When
The
he grabs him with the hands.
Yeah, even so, just trying to like dodge the hat while like fighting it, like just that whole area, the scene, the location, the choreography, everything about that, peak cinema was
Yeah, I
so
thought
good.
I was gonna say that brings to a point where I was gonna say they did a really good job with utilizing everyone's weapons. Kung Lao's hat, Shao Kahn's hammer was constantly being flicked around, punched up, thrown. Katana's fan blades were awesome. So I thought they did a really good job on showcasing everybody's weapons. So yeah, the fatalities were there in spades compared to number one. The combat is really fun to watch. It is a little cheesy here and there, but it's really good. And that just kind of leads me to my last thing about all the new characters. So obviously you had, unless there's anything else you want to add on the fights or the combat.
No, they were good. That's part of the
So
movie.
we have Johnny Cage, obviously coming in here by Carl Urban. We have Katana by Adeline Rudolph, Jade by Tati Gabrielle, Shao Kahn, who was awesome, played by Martin Ford, Quan Chi by Damon Harriman, Baraka by C.J. Bloomfield, King Gerard by Desmond Chiam, and Queen Sindel by Anna Thu Nguyen. I think that's how you pronounce it. We don't have to dive too far into it. It's a good cast of characters. I mean, I thought this really just showed off more of what Mortal Kombat was supposed to be. Bring in more characters in this realm. Unlike number one, where it focused on an MMA fighter and his family and things like that.
Yeah.
This brought in more of what Mortal Kombat was. So I'm kind of at the end here with this. But was there anybody that stood out with you? Obviously, Johnny Cage is the factor. He's kind of replacing Cole
Oh
as
yeah,
kind of the main character. Carl Urban was fantastic. Obviously, Kano's
so
back in it
good. My
too.
biggest concern
Yeah.
going
I
in.
think a lot of people's was, and I think he played it perfectly. The banter, the wit. This movie does have a high tension of brutality, but at the same time, there was plenty of moments where I was laughing out loud at
Yeah,
this, and it's because of moments with Johnny Cage and Kano and things like that. And even Baraka had some very funny moments when he's
yeah.
fighting and has a whole interaction with Johnny Cage. So, was there any particular character that stood out to you at all, or outside of maybe Shao Kahn and Johnny Cage?
I really liked. If I had to go through them again. I actually liked the chick who did Katana. Like I thought Katana was
She
done
was.
like
I
really
thought
really
Katana
well.
was actually perfect.
Yeah, that would like if I didn't have to choose obviously who's like the main forefront, even though she kind of is. Like I think she was like absolutely great.
Nice. So,
I
is
think
there anything else? Sorry.
I'll say as far as negative wise though, the dude that bugs me the most is like Liu Kang, who almost has that Zac Efron like chin in this one now for some reason. Because I follow that dude on Instagram, and in the first one he looks fine, but in this one you could tell like he's done unless he's just lost that much weight or something to get that fit, but like his chin seems off, his like lips are kind of like Botoxy looking or whatever. I'm
Coming
like,
at him, bro. Coming at the hey, guy can't even defend himself.
I'm sorry, bro. You're more handsome and way more fit and way more rich than I'll ever be. But I'm like, you didn't need all that, man.
Yeah, I that's funny. I do, and again, some of the Liu Kang stuff, I feel like they're definitely pushing it towards another movie. So I'll end it with that. Unless there's anything else you want to say, is I mean, if the budget doesn't matter, if they don't, because number one, obviously they didn't make their money back, and they made a number two. If the money's not a problem, do you think they're going to make a number three? Because the movie clearly ends with something that happens, and it goes to a point where they're going, okay, guys, now let's go do this. Or do you think the movie should just kind of end here with number two?
I don't know because I don't know what they could do with three. Because without getting into spoilers, like I can't even try to like articulate. The only thing I could say if they wanted to go in another direction, where they could do like a prequel, like even though they run into some of those people like Shaolin Monks. Did you ever play Shaolin Monks?
I don't think so. I remember putting it away at Game Exchange, but I don't think I ever played Shaolin Monks.
It's more like a brawler kind
That's
of,
what I okay. That's what I thought. Yeah.
but you're playing as it's Liu Kang and Kung Lao,
And
like
Kung Lao.
on
Okay,
like a
yeah.
journey or whatever. And I think even Ludi Lin, the dude who plays like Liu Kang, had mentioned like something about it. And there's been a couple people throwing that like around. I'm like, okay, that's odd that you guys would be saying something like that, but I think that's really cool that it's getting like acknowledged, because it is a cool game with its own fun like little story.
Gotcha. So, I think that's everything I want to go on it without getting into spoilers. If we want to do a spoiler one, maybe down the road we can. But I kind of hits all the bullet points. I say definitely go watch it if you're on the fence about it. It's a really fun time. Is there anything else you want to add on it before we kind of get into what we're doing?
Yeah, if any of you guys go to the theaters and they have that cool popcorn bucket that's like the arcade cabinet, go ahead and like buy it and send it to me, please. Because that was like the one thing I wanted. That and Shao Kahn's helmet would have been the best.
I
I'll
found it.
even settle for the Johnny Cage clapper.
I found it. I found a Shao Kahn one online, and it should be coming in because I knew Riverside wasn't gonna have it, so I snagged because dude, they were going online for $1. So
How
I
much was
found.
it?
I think the highest ones I was seeing were going 80, 90, $100 and up. The one we found was like 45, 50. So I'm hoping it's the real thing. It's not missing anything, but hopefully it comes in and I'll show it to you. But
It's gonna be cardboard.
it's a picture, it's a Polaroid. So that's everything we have on Mortal Kombat 2, guys. Go out and see it. We're almost pushed on time, Andrew, but let's get into what are you up to? Where Andrew and I talk about what we've been playing, what we've been watching. Andrew, my friend, I know you've been traveling a lot lately. What have you been up to, my friend? Have you been playing anything?
So watching anything? I haven't been watching anything because again, I've been traveling for like work and stuff like that. So I've been like in and out of Phoenix. As far as playing anything, I did take my Xbox. So kind of at the end of the day when I'm in the hotel, I've been playing Final Fantasy V because that just dropped on the Game Pass, and it's really good. The story is good. I'm having a lot of fun. I think it's by far the best like job system. Are you familiar with it all? Have you ever played Five?
Five? No, I was watching the trailer though as I was getting the video together. It looks very intricate. Yeah, outside from I go from 1 and 2 to 6. So all the ones in between, this is like the playing the Game Pass is catching me up on all the ones I never got to play before.
So like quick rundown, anybody could be like any class, and it's regardless of experience because you level this up with something separate like AP. So like it's not just like normal experience. I mean it's just a different metric essentially is what it is. And so like let's say you're playing the who is it? I think it's not the samurai, the ninja. The ninja is dual wield, so that lets you like attack twice. So like let's say you have two knives, you'll attack with one knife, you'll attack with the other knife. If you leveled up the ranger, you don't have to master it, you just have to unlock the ability with the ranger, and it's per person. You have to do it per person to do it. You can mix and match it, so you have your dual wield by default because you're the ninja, but you can put on rapid fire from the ranger, and so then you could use the ranger's ability, so then you can attack up to 8 times counting the original 2 that you had. Or if you level up the knight, there you can use that, like let's say who's someone like the thief. So let's say you want to play a thief for whatever reason and you'd already leveled up the knight. The thief doesn't use like heavy armor, he gets like light armor, whatever, so you can be fast. You could put an ability on him though to use heavy armor if you want to, or if you had leveled up the stuff from the knight, you could put on there, instead of using, you could be a thief where you're fast, but you could have him use a sword or something, or a battle axe, so that way you're doing more
Battle
damage
axe.
than just thief's damage, with like the little
Sick.
daggers and stuff. So there's a lot of cool like mix and matches and ways to like do things. It even goes to like magic too. You can mix and match, so like dual cast. That's so like if I cast Spyraga, I can cast it again. It'll just be 2 back to back from the black mage, but you can put that on the summons too. So I could summon Ifrit and then it will automatically summon him again if I'm mixing and matching like these abilities. So it's just really cool the way you can do it. The classes are like really fun to play. It's just a lot of mix and match. I have like a whole different pattern of like who I'm mastering with what and everything. I have one person that is just all specifically all the kinds of magic. So time, white, black, summon, even
Sick.
like enchanting weapons and stuff. I have another chick who's primarily damage but does enchanted weapons. Then I have my two like beefcakes that are primarily for like just kicking ass. So it's
Nice.
really good. It's long though. This one is by far the longest. I was looking up like how long to beat because I was like, I feel like I'm nowhere close. I'm looking at the bestiary. I'm like halfway through and I'm at like 10 hours in, where all the other ones you beat at like 10 to 12 hours.
Yeah.
This one, even with the boosters on, it's going to be about like 20-ish. So I'm
Woo!
kind of on the back endish, but I'm not in the back nine just yet.
Nice. Alrighty. I was just gonna say, I just noticed that your little tag where mine has my name, yours says Zoom user. I didn't even notice it. I
Oh, I
think
didn't put my name on
I
there.
don't think so. So and for some reason, because I was just kind of looking around your thing, and I just saw that right now. But nice. I still need to beat Final Fantasy 4. So once I do that, then I'll move into 5. But as far as what I've been up to, what I just watched was Punisher: One Last Kill, which came out on May 12th. It's about 50 minutes. It's on Disney Plus. It's a complimentary piece after Daredevil season 2 and right before you watch the new Spider-Man movie because the Punisher is going to be in it. It's worth watching. It's kind of two different movies. The first half is kind of going through Frank Castle's like psychosis and his breakdown and his mental stability because he's finally caught up and killed everyone that had something to do with his murder of his family. So now he's
Right.
kind of figure out what's his purpose. Like, what am I supposed to do? He's thinking, he's contemplating suicide. He's talking to his old Marine buddies, but then something happens, and he needs to go into Punisher mode. So and again, it's only 45, 50 minutes. If the first 20 minutes don't get you, hang on for the back half because it's a roller coaster ride, dude. It's like prime Punisher of just decking people, killing people.
The only thing I've seen is that scene where he gets knocked onto the thing and people say it looks like cheap effects. You know what I'm talking
Oh, but he
about?
falls off the roof onto the
Metal
boards.
box or
Yeah.
whatever the hell it is. Yeah.
Do if you get a chance to watch it sometime. It's only 50 minutes. Watch it
I'll probably
sometime.
watch it this week when I go back to Phoenix.
Yeah, and if you and Cian haven't watched it, give it a go. So I would say watch it if you've got Disney Plus. You're not missing anything if you don't though. It doesn't really. It gives you he gets into Punisher mode set up for Spider-Man, but you're not missing nothing. As far as what I've been playing, I kind of took a break. I didn't really play anything for like a week. I was just kind of watching shows and stuff like that. I've been watching a lot of anime lately, and I'll dive into that next episode of. Like I've been watching Castlevania. I was watching the new Baki Hanma, this new show that Raimundo showed me too called Shangri-La Frontier. So I've been watching a lot
Yeah.
of shows, but I did end up start playing Pragmata. What sucked is after not playing for a week, getting back to controls again and starting to try to relearn everything took me a second. But dude, this game is fucking fire, bro. Like
So
I
good.
got back into it, dude. I'm building all my guys up. I've got my weapons. I've got now to where I can have two weapons on the right and two weapons on the left, and I don't
Right.
have the pistol anymore. I've got like the submachine gun or whatever it is.
I don't
So,
like using that one.
you like the pistol better? Should I switch it out?
The pistol's stronger. The other one's all heat based.
Okay, then I'll swatch that out too. Yeah, so I just got all my weapons back in, and I was just kind of reloading it back up. I think I'm about maybe halfway through the game, 5 to 6 hours. I just did the
Oh,
beach. I just did the beach scene where you're on the water, and I'm a little bit past that.
I was gonna say I just in case because I don't think it clarifies on there too. So if you level up your pistol, it says like you level up your pistol or that gun. It levels them up together. So don't feel like, oh man, I wasted my perks because I did whatever. Like it's whatever your primary weapon is, whatever boost you do goes to both. Which
Perfect.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that at first. I'm like, oh, I don't want to waste these things. And then I'm like, oh, okay, no, never mind. It's just to whatever one. I personally don't like that weapon, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. You're coming out of the forest from the atrium.
Yeah. So I'm right there. So I'm probably back in game mode. So after this, I'm gonna mix everything down, and then I'm probably just gonna start playing Pragmata. I have a buddy coming over a little bit later. We're gonna play some games, but I'm gonna try to squeeze in at least another hour or two before the day's up.
Did you run into any of those spider bots yet?
I think so. Yeah, and they got like the four things on them that you gotta pop off.
They let yeah, on the backside.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I didn't want to spoil it for you, but the fact that they're like invisible.
Yeah, the invisible things. Yeah, I ran into those,
Yeah,
and she's like, "They're right there," and I was like running and dodging. I'm like, "You little shit!" So yeah, I fought maybe like three or four of them so far. So
yeah,
yeah,
dude.
am I
Great
halfway
game.
through the game? You think 5 hours in, past that part?
Yeah, you're cruising pretty well because after that, like it kind of takes off. Especially if you're not doing like all the side stuff, like you could just run through and just have a good time. So if you're not going to sit there and try to do like what I did, where you want to do all the collectibles and stuff, you could easily cruise through.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna try to get it done, and then maybe I'll go back and clean stuff up. But
No, you won't, but no, it's all
I
right.
I said maybe. So that being said, guys, that brings us an end to episode 231. Join us next time, guys, for episode 232. And until next time, guys, my name is Chris Prowse. That is Mandrew Montemayor. Cheers.
I forgot my drink.